It is back to school time, and for us cello players out there, it is back to practice, and none other than TomPlay is going to help you get back into the groove. So first, let me discuss quickly what TomPlay is. TomPlay is an interactive app that has music that you play along to, and you select the song that you wish to play. As you see, this is my personal selection. Right here, you can choose the speed, you can choose the backing track, which is one of the most amazing things about TomPlay because the backing tracks are recorded by real musicians. I cannot stress that enough, okay? When you have an actual ensemble that records music, it is just fantastic. But let's take it back to basics. Let's get you back to practice, because that's what this video is all about, getting you back into the groove of playing. And so TomPlay has two sections dedicated strictly to practice. There are etudes for your music, but they have just introduced TomScales, both in major and minor forms. I've already made a video about the major scale, so you can check that out on my channel in various socials. Today I'm going to talk about the minor scales. The minor scales is right here. Same as always, you can select your instrument, your level of difficulty, and you have all of the scales that pertain to your instrument. Now, to be honest, I haven't played the TomScales minor scales, so this will be a very first time playing it. I'm going to be judging on very simple things like the fingerings. As a professional cellist and a teacher, I'm going to expect a certain logic to be transferred over. So you're going to see fingerings, as you see marked here. There are fingerings. There's also bowings. Follow all the shifts, and let's see just how good this is, and do I get annoyed? It is super important when you are learning music that isn't from your school, your conservatory, your teacher. Everyone has a certain plan for you, a trajectory for you. Any app that is providing a pedagogical approach to learning your instrument, for instance, our cellos, require a very streamlined, direct, and clear pedagogical approach. So let's see how they do. Now, just like the other songs, you can adjust the tempo. You can have a loop section. That's very nice. Everything that you have when you're playing music is here. For instance, also, if you tune to a different hertz, you can adjust the accompaniment, which is nice. And for those of you still learning music, you can put on the note names. There we go. There's your note names in solfege or ABC. I'm going to leave that up there because some of you are jumping into this instrument and you haven't really truly learned how to read music. And there's so many of you out there who have joined cello at a later time in your life, or maybe from a family or a group of friends that aren't musical. So your path to music hasn't been standard like my path and other ones. I was taught music when I was 3 years old. And so I was already reading music when I was 4 years old. That sort of path hasn't been provided for everyone. TomPlay is here to close that gap for you. So this is G natural minor. Clearly it's going to be in one octave, and I have the notes labeled right there. I'm going to keep everything as such and keep it to the accompaniment track of classical, but you can change it, which I'll demonstrate later in this video. So I'm going to play a little bit of this just to show you what it's like as a beginner wanting to learn these notes, catch up with my friends at school. So let's now jump into the G natural minor at the intermediate level. This will be 2 octaves, and I'm just going to follow along. And since we've had enough of that classical track, so let's have some fun and play to a pop track. Already off the bat, I can tell you the fingerings are perfect. Very strict pedagogical approach. If you're unfamiliar with the logic that's based upon these notes right here, the movement, the shifts, then you must become familiar with the one fingering to rule them all by Duport. They're actually the Duport fingerings. And what you see right here is not the major, but the minor. It's a 1-3-4 closed hand position, 1-3-4 closed hand position. 5 different places, 4 different shifts. You shift, make an extension, shift, make an extension, and then another extension. That is a logic that I am seeing, something that is standard that I teach. If you're familiar with this sort of stuff, then great. And if you're not, well, then drop me an email, because I'm a teacher online and I love this stuff. I especially love when there are apps out there that really go along with what's happening in the pedagogical world of teaching our instrument. And so back to the music here. As you know, there are 3 different minor scales. We did the natural minor in G. We're going to do the harmonic minor of A. If you are familiar with these are, great. If you're not, you raise the 7th note a half step in A minor. So A minor is no flats, no sharps. So you make it a G sharp on the way up and down. And since we've already heard the, I think that was pop, let's go with a bossa nova. Wow, the fingering is just fantastic for that one. So I saved the best for last. I'm going to do now the B minor melodic. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what minor melodic is, quickly, you raised 2 notes, the 6th note and the 7th note on the ascend. And on the descend, you go down to the natural minor. You return to the natural minor form. So let's now play B minor melodic. Clicks and flows. It's like you are tapping into a zeitgeist. You're tapping into this other atmosphere of thinking, of general thinking that we all are sharing as cello players or musicians. And so solid pedagogical foundation on this. That was easy enough talk. Let's go, and I saved the best for last. So to finish out, let me tell you that TomPlay is this not only a fantastic app for you, your cello students out there, your cello learners, independent learners, people learning online, people that are going back to school. You need to get back to practice. TomPlay with TomScales is providing you very easy and enjoyable ways to learn your scales. Hope you enjoyed the video today. Like, share, and subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, talk to me about how the basic fundamentals, when did you start to take the basic fundamentals seriously? And how did it improve your enjoyment of the instrument? Particularly this one. I want to know. I want to know. If you like my videos and you want to learn from me, certainly leave me a comment or an email and we can talk about it. That's enough self-promotion and oozing over TomPlay. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day wherever you are in the world. So thank you once again for spending your time here with me on the channel as you travel along your own journey of music discovery.